Fellas, man, another week of college football. We had a few upsets with Oklahoma, a close one with Georgia and Missouri. Obviously, Auburn had a upsetting loss. Lost a
They were who we thought they were.
we blew a 17-point lead, right? 14. Uh,
17-0 was the score, sir.
oh man. All right. So how starting off though, how do we feel about the Georgia Missouri? Obviously, Eli and his staff, they played a very tough one against Georgia, who's a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? When you think about college football right now, um, do we think it's Mizzou? Do we think that Georgia just played down to the opponent? How we feel about those programs?
And I feel like it's a little bit of both, honestly, man. I feel like Missouri came out with their best shot. It was amped up. It was a night game in the SEC. And you know how that could be, man. They had the fans going and they started making plays. I think Eli had a great game plan for him, bought out all the trick plays and whatever. He had some guys make some plays in one-on-one situations. On behalf of Georgia, you know how that is being a top program and going to something like that and, losing like that, how Missouri did last week to us, you know what I'm saying? They thought they would just go roll over for them. So, they figured it out that, at any time, any given Saturday in the SEC, you can lose. Thank God, they came up on the winning end.
But said, thank God.
I know that's what Kirby was saying.
So I want to move on to this a little bit of both, but I think Georgia just intimidated a lot of people. To be honest, I think we lose sight of, and no disrespect to him, he's been, for the past year and a half, he has been playing lights out. But I know Bebe said it probably early this season, I'll probably even go back to last year. This is still a walk-on quarterback. And no disrespect to walk-ons, but he is any given night he can be exposed in my opinion. They don't have a George Pickens or a Cook to kind of blow the game open. Now, granted, I said it with a disclaimer: the two tight ends they got could be game breakers. If you find a way to limit the touches from those two, and that's 19-0, I think Georgia's offense is very vanilla. I think they win most of their games from a defensive perspective, which the defense kept them in the game. In this last game, if Missouri was able to score in that possession where they got it down to the 1 yard line, where I think they had a offside penalty, I think is a different story. There because the offense throughout the entire game still didn't get anything going, but a defense can only be on the field so much. So I think it's a little bit of both. Georgia kind of exposed themselves from an offensive perspective last week, so it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think we got to give Missouri a lot of credit, man, and their coaching staff. Just the week before they lost the game 2 fucking times. Just the week before, and after a tough loss like that in the SEC, you'll think a team come back and lay down just a team of Missouri caliber. They not a top SEC school, and for them to lose a game 2 times in overtime and at the end of regulation. You got to say hats off to the coaching staff, man. I feel like they're doing a good job of getting those guys ready week in and week out to get ready to play each and every Saturday. So hats off to Missouri coaching staff.
I think it's more Missouri than anything, fellas. And the only reason why I say that, man, think about this, man. Missouri won in so many phases of the game, man, in just so many ways, as in they had a couple explosive plays. They kept Georgia defense out there. And the fact that Missouri defensive line, they got after that quarterback, man. And we've seen the greatest quarterbacks of all time, as in Tom Brady. You pressure them, you can force them into bad decisions. And you can affect them and rattle them to the point that make them look average. And this, I understand the whole walk-on deal with the quarterback and all that. But what Missouri did was they affected him. They pressured that cat. They pressured him more than 11 times and got hits on him. They tied the game with Georgia as in 2 sacks. And the fact that they held it that tight, man, and they hit Georgia in the mouth. And they made them kind of like it. So I really want to say that it's Georgia, but then again, you got to get your hat and you got to tip your hat to Mizzou. Yeah, they came up and they played.
Yeah, bro. I'm with y'all boys. Like, especially CD, like you said on that last take, and Ken, bro. That coaching staff, we know him personally, bro. I feel like I don't know what it is about Eli, bro, but I feel like he know how to keep a program together. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is, just keeping guys like bought into the system, bought into the program. And obviously, Cheese, Coach Russell, we know what type of energy they come with. And to lose, like he said, to Auburn and then come back and just compete against Georgia, that definitely said a lot about the staff, bro. Man, what we think about the beatdown, bro? Did Oklahoma, TCU, is that something that we could expect from an Oklahoma program, man? Obviously, it's not the SEC. But bro, I don't know if we expected a beatdown like that. 55-24 was the final score there. What you got, Ryan?
I think that was the biggest shocker from all at the weekend, man. Other than how close Georgia and Missouri was, man. Especially with Brett Venables being the head coach, you would think they would play better defense. But I don't know, man. To be honest, what's going on at TCU? I know they don't have Gary Patterson anymore, so I'm not really familiar with what they have. But I just know that watching the highlights, man, they was up at like 28 points, I think, in the first quarter. So they jumped on them early, man. But yeah. Oklahoma going to have to do something, man. They got Texas this weekend, so we shall see if they got those problems corrected.
Big rivalry. Man, what you got, Lo? What was you able to check that game out?
I mean, Smooth called it out during the game, and I know they showed the highlight. I forgot what game we was watching. That's how I think we all first saw like what it was when they initially jumped out on them. And then I did see Oklahoma respond. I think they got it within maybe 10 points, and then TCU just put their foot back on the gas, and that's what kind of shocked me because when I first saw the initial, I'm guessing like I said, it just came out and punched them in the mouth, maybe with a couple of turnovers, whatever the case may have been. And then when I saw Oklahoma coming back, I figured it would have been a different story. But the boys, continued to keep their foot on their throat, which kind of shocked me a bit. I haven't watched Oklahoma offensively enough to know what they have there, but again, to Smooth's point, I thought Venables coming there would establish or figure out what he needed to do. And again, this is his first year, so I'm not going to put too much weight on that. Oklahoma has historically, and I know they had a different coach, but they historically been able to score points. So if he could get back to doing that and get his defense to looking how even similar to how I did at Clemson, I think he'll have a shot. But again, I think last week was a shocker to the college football world with how they showed up.
Yeah, second week in a row, Oklahoma went down. First one was Kansas State. Kansas State upset them the week before, and then now TCU. So who knows?
But K-State, to be honest, y'all boys was gone. Like they can get anybody anyway. You talking about a team that's coached well, regardless of who they're. Especially if you go to K-State, anybody going in there is on upset alert. And I'm saying that from experience.
Well, I remember when y'all played it. That atmosphere was crazy though. Just watching it on TV.
Crazy. Bro, you should have saw there. I don't even know if they showed it on TV. So we warmed up like regular. We went in the locker room. When we came back out, it was 100 Harleys outside around the field. 100 Harleys just revving up like I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life, dog.
Am I tripping, or is that what Lockett went?
Yeah, that was Lockett.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I ain't know if it was.
We played against him.
I remember. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. But also, fellas, man, with the Oklahoma game, man, y'all got to think about it too. That quarterback got put out the game. He got hit with the concussion, man. He was trying to go down for the slide, and it was kind of a little controversial hit, whatever. But it's kind of hard to make that judgment call at that last second. But I think, man, by just being Venable first year, man, whenever you get a coach in there, you can start expecting change in like the third year. I say give him a little time to turn that defense over. But I'm big on giving coaches time for that. I think it's around about 3 years. But Oklahoma need work, man. They were just mainly trying to outscore everyone, man. That's what Oklahoma lately been about. And I just say give him a little time, and he'll change that defense around.
Hey, wasn't they talking about trying to come to the SEC?
They are coming to the SEC.
They is, yeah. They
2
are.
years.
Yep. Them Texas, all of them.
Oof.
Ooh, for Auburn.
Oh yeah. Auburn might well go join their conference.
Hey, now hold on.
Hold on, man.
Hold on. Hey,
It
all
get
right.
ugly, bro.
Hey, Kiffin. I know that was a bit when we talked about last week, man. I know he said Kiffin will be able to win if he what do you say, coached with emotion, but wasn't emotional. They ended up pulling out the victory. Man, Kentucky. I've been high on Kentucky. Mark Stoops, man. I'm a fan. What we think there? Do we think Kentucky lost the game or Ole Miss went out, played good football, won? What do we think?
Like Smooth said, they are who we thought they were. Like I said, Kentucky, good program. Like I said before, they got a ceiling. I don't think they're gonna ever get by that ceiling, man.
I disagree, man. I think Kentucky had plenty of opportunities to win the game. And just that hit when the quarterback got hit and fumbled the ball, the quarterback didn't let the receiver get set on that fade ball, illegal formation.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like they had a lot of chance, opportunity to win the game. So I ain't gonna say what Low and Smooth saying. I think Kentucky heading in the right direction. Just see can they bounce back, man. After just like we just got through talking about Missouri, how they was able to bounce back after a tough loss against Auburn. Let's see how they respond. Then we can go and say where they front runners, where they this, where they that.
We didn't seen this episode before though. Like I remember Kentucky was in the top 10. I don't know if it was a couple years ago, whenever it was. Same thing happened. It was they lost their first one. Those type of programs, a mindset thing of believing, I think, who they are, and being able to win those games. And again, I know we talked about it before. Like even Auburn, we are not. Baby York said, when do we become a powerhouse? But when we do get fortunate to have those type of teams every 5 to 6 years, whatever it is, we have an identity of at least having the history of going back and looking back and understanding how to win those close games. Like even the years that we went, and even after we left, the year that Carrion and them boys was there, they knew how to pull through them games. I haven't seen, the Kentuckys, the Tennessees, the South Carolinas, even in the years they had, be able to finish those type of games, and that's where the gap is. It's still the SEC. No misdemeanor about that. But like I said, the only gap within the SEC is those teams that can finish those type of games. That's where the gap come in at.
Man, who are those teams right now? I say this, like Kentucky still has an opportunity to prove themselves. They have Tennessee and Georgia, and for the most part, that's it. So, hey, we'll see. Like you said, they'll have a chance to see how they bounce back. They got South Carolina this week.
Hold on, is Missouri on their schedule?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Well, shit. They got more. They got more to worry about. Yeah, because Eli ain't laying down for nobody.
Nah,
he's definitely not laying down for no one. But now I think I'm more aligned with Baby on that, man. I think they're on their way. Kentucky on their way, but we also got to give credit to Ole Miss too, man. They came out and played damn good football too. That quarterback, he made a mistake with the interception, all that. That quarterback, he can throw it, man, and he can actually pull it down and run it too. 1 minute he can go for 40 yards, and don't be surprised if he go for 100 the next game. And they had a running back that gave them production too. But I say there's a little bit of more of the both. I just think that was just a damn good football game, man. And hey, give credit to Lane and his boys.
Man, I know Lane was happy, man. He definitely was glad they pulled that one off. Moving on, Bama, they had a fight on their hands for a little bit of the game. They jumped out early on Arkansas. Quarterback went down. How do we feel about Bama right now? After that game, and obviously after the injury.
I think Arkansas now opened up the damn floodgate. Because I think they didn't show the two beasts that Bama got, and that's that number 4 and that transfer from Georgia Tech. I think he's gonna get more touches. They're gonna find a way to get him the ball, and he's gonna be a problem.
But they've been trying to feed him all year, right?
Yeah, but like I said, they finna find. Like I think they was using him more so in a downhill perspective, and not to say that they can't, as the O-line continue to gel. But I think they're gonna find ways to get that boy in space and just let him get loose. Whether it's on screen game, quick game, whatever. And then on top of that, some of the young receivers. The problem, it ain't never been a talent thing. Like early on, I know some questions around the receiving core. I think it's just confidence. And if they let them young boys start feeling themselves and start thinking they're the next, Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper and shit like that, it's gonna be a problem for the rest of the college football world.
I think it's already a problem, man. I told you, my prediction was obviously I'm high on Arkansas, but I felt like Bama was going to win confidently over 17 points, cover the spread.
They won twice, like our baby said.
Bro, that's crazy.
They beat their ass twice. It was a blowout. Arkansas pulled back close. They blow their ass out again.
Man, I know.
I didn't know see get blown out 2 times.
I know. I believe Smooth texted in the group, bro, and said it was a ball game. Or somebody was like, oh. By the time I made it back in the house, bro, Bama was up again by 20.
It was a blowout again.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is the thing, bro. Is that something new? Bama been doing this for 10 years, bro. And that's the thing.
I ain't seen them blow out a team twice in one game, cuz I ain't gonna lie to you.
Man, listen,
they got it within 4.
I've seen
5 minutes later they're back up by 17. Man.
I've seen it a few times. A team may score a touchdown or 2, and next thing you know, man, Bama just do what they supposed to.
In the second half, though.
What's going on with the quarterback? What's going on with the quarterback from Bama?
Got a sprained AC joint.
Huh?
We got a sprained AC joint.
Who Bama got this week?
Texas A&M grudge match, good old fashioned. He finna punish Jimbo.
Oh, he played this week though. Bryce Young played this week.
Yeah, they finna punish Jimbo.
Yeah, they gonna shoot.
I don't know.
They gonna shoot him.
Jimbo gonna go out fighting.
This person.
That shit gonna be a lot closer than you think.
Nah, it's at Belmont.
So
prime time.
Listen, Jimbo should have lost to the boys that just blew out twice, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Them boys just lost to Mississippi State.
But it's he gonna get them boys ready to play Bama and Nick. That's what I feel.
Hey,
what's the spread? What's the spread?
38.
No.
No way, Smooth.
Bama don't cover.
It's not a 30.
If it's 38, Bama don't cover. No.
No way.
It's
no
way.
way.
That's not possible, bro.
Can't be.
They're gonna be high after they lost to Mississippi State, though. They're not gonna get on board no credit. What we got? They're gonna be at least 17, man.
I'm trying to pull it up for you and let you know what we got on the spread. Bama, Texas A&M, but like CD said, I think Texas A&M come to play just with obviously the staff they got, and the back and forth, in the offseason, man, about these players. I think Texas A&M come to play.
Man, fellas, I'm not that really sold on Bama, like just being able to beat everyone, though. I'm not sold on Bama or Georgia being like that powerhouse, not being able to be beaten, bro, because they
spread is 24.
I told you. Ass whooping.
Go ahead, Ken.
Nah, I just said I'm not a believer in Bama and Georgia being them powerhouse like that, man, because of the fact that they showed too many times that any Saturday anybody can get got. And people, I feel like it's a little more towards Arkansas, allowing Bama to do what they did to them and making them look unstoppable like that, beating them twice. And why I say that, their offense, they struggle and they wasn't able to string along at least a couple long drives or something to get their defense a break. As soon as their offense come out there, they straying out and the defense back on the field. And then the thing is, their defense, they wasn't able to affect the quarterback in no type of way. Dude sitting back there just patting the ball 5 to 6, 7 seconds. You're not going to beat them that way, man. So that's my whole deal on it, man. I felt like it was just a mismatch right now when you think about it. And I picked Arkansas to win. I thought that it was going to actually be able to get pressure on Bryce Young. Whenever Bryce Young was out there, he sat there and hold the ball for 5 to 6 seconds, just waiting for somebody to come up. DBs, y'all know that, man. They can't cover that long. Come on, man.
Nope. Especially not against them.
I just think some teams need that wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you're a team like Georgia and Bama, you know, you're gonna come out and get everybody best shot. Just going back looking at Bama and Texas. Texas gave Bama their best shot. Missouri and Georgia, Missouri gave them their best shot.
Yep.
But if you find a way to win those close, tight games, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean that you just go back to the drawing board, figure it out. Hey, this is where they got us at. This is where we got to get better at, and continue to progress and move forward. I still think those the two top dominant teams in the country, and one of those teams is going to win the national championship, either Bama or Georgia.
Agreed. I said this a few weeks ago. Remember, I asked y'all. I said, is it Bama and Georgia and everybody else right now? Because I felt like that early on. Even though some teams, I see you can, even though some teams battling with them, man, I just feel that every week, bro. Nobody believes, man, a team finna beat them, in my opinion. Hey,
but I can't really say that though, because you see the Kent State against Georgia, you see the Mizzou against Georgia, you see the Texas against Alabama, and the thing is, that quarterback got hurt. If that kid would have never got hurt, we've been talking about something different right now. Because look at ever since that kid got hurt, Texas do not look the same. That's one thing I can say though. So every week, anybody can get got on any Saturday.
Yeah, it's still early. Yeah, and it's still early though. Now, if it was late in the season, then okay, yeah, but it's still early.
That, and let's not compare Texas to Kent State and Missouri. Georgia is shown weakness. Saying that teams have played Bama good, that's a team, and it was early in the season. Like Bama ain't got freshman receivers out there, so I'm not gonna put them in the same category with Georgia because Georgia has been in now 2 dog fights with teams they shouldn't be in dog fights with. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Bama still got 31 over there that can't be stopped.
Yeah, but at the same time, Georgia damn near got a whole new defense, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't. That's why I said you can't. To me, the two teams that they was in a dogfight with, though, you know, because to me, Auburn, the fact that Missouri put up a fight with Auburn ain't telling me shit because they the bottom of the SEC to me. So that ain't a good thing. And like you said, they lost that game twice anyway, and then you in a dogfight with Kent State at home. Like why? It makes 0 sense. So. I just ain't gonna put them two on the same trajectory. Georgia they don't have a staple win in my opinion yet.
What about? Well, yeah, I guess you could say that because I was just about to go to bring up Oregon. The thing is about Georgia though, man, what's gonna be telling is their offensive line. Because this past week, their offensive line got beat, and they got beat pretty bad. And you got to think about it when you go back to Missouri game. Missouri were in a turnover battle and everything. They had 2 turnovers. So being honest, when you sit there and look at the sheet, Missouri should have won that game.
Yeah, they just couldn't put it in the end zone. That's it.
They found the way. They found the way to win. So that's tips off to Georgia right there.
Yeah, they definitely didn't have. They won the turnover battle. Man, what's next, man? With the Tigers after Auburn, LSU, what direction do we go? Smooth had a great quote last week, man. I'm not gonna say a great quote, but just a take, in my opinion. Like the biggest thing right now is where do we go head coach wise, because that's the conversation, and we know as players, when those conversations start happening, man, the locker room start talking. And again, I don't want to act like this is a new issue because this is something that we all probably seen coming in the offseason. But where do we go? We got a tough matchup this week. We got Georgia. We are coming off of a huge, in my opinion, upset. When you think about an opportunity to beat LSU in general, it's hard to do. But when you're up 17-0, man, and we let those guys fight back in the game, go back at home. Yeah, man, it's tough, and it's tougher again because we know the fans we got. We know the way that it's gonna be perceived when you come in Jordan Hare and come back home in a few weeks.
Hey, I say it's a bad week for Auburn, goddamn. You know, I know y'all know Georgia hearing all the talk that they ain't good enough, they ain't good like they was last year, and blah, blah, blah. And Auburn just so happened to be the team they face next. So I think Georgia gonna come out and make a statement. Man, whatever the spread is, I heard somebody say, like 30 points? I heard that before, but whatever the spread is, shit, I think Georgia covered, man. I think Auburn really had no chance whatsoever to even win this game. Just compete and make it a game. Well, I ain't gonna say that because with Robbie and his legs, the things he can do with his legs, I think he can make it very interesting game. But I still think Georgia come out and prove a point.
So usually I say the same, baby. But to be honest, I'm gonna give Robbie some credit. He showed me some outside of the turnovers. He threw for over 300, right?
37, I think.
Yeah. So I think.
And he really don't have a true playmaker on the outside.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I said Robbie impressed with what he was able to do, and just some of the passes, the way it came out, I wouldn't have even thought it went that far. But then I'm like, damn, that ball went. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, he impressed me a lot with his arm. The only thing I'm worried about, I think that Auburn will come out with a good game plan, but something that stuck out that a couple fans said, and it's sad that it's that obvious. The game plan coming out seems to be good across this season. We make zero adjustments, man, and you get it. That's one thing what Kirby has. I ain't gonna even say he learned it from Saban, but Kirby and Saban both thrive on adjustments. So whatever the score is at halftime, it's gonna be It's gonna be double that second half. So I don't know, like depending on how good of a game plan Auburn come out with, but I just. Until shown otherwise, I don't think the adjustment's gonna be there. And on top of that, I think Kirby gonna take the run away from the get go. So Robbie in the pass game gonna have to be dependent on all game. I think they gonna make sure 2-7 and 4 don't do absolutely shit. Like I think they gonna take pride and make sure them boys don't block them. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Still questions at coaching, man. Not just head coach, but offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. There's really a lot of questionable calls going on, man. Like you said, we went up 17-0. And for like 40 minutes of the game, we didn't score a point. I think we scored all our points in the first maybe like 12 minutes or something, man. So them boys went 14 minutes without scoring a point, yo. And what's going on with the kicker, man? Carlson missing all these kicks. He done missed like 3 or 4 kicks this year, man. That's been really, you know what I'm saying, holding on the team as well. But like I said before, man, I think we just need to do a better job at seeing who we have as playmakers and just getting them the ball, feeding them. 4, 27, 25, 6 are the guys that show they can make plays. I think we need to force feed them the ball, man, and roll the dice and see what happens with it. I don't think we need to try to get real fancy with it, because I think that's when things get a little bit fuzzy for us.
Mistakes happen, like you said, bro.
Saying? So
that damn reverse pass.
That's
man.
what I was wanting to bring it up. I was gonna let bro finish his point. But look, I know I get everything everybody's saying. The reason I feel like we cover, just to go ahead and get my point, I feel like we cover, it's a 30-point spread. We can't get beat by 30 points to Georgia.
42-10, look.
Bro,
real.
At home? Auburn at home?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought it's not at Auburn?
No.
Oh, wow.
This is our road game. This is our road game.
So, hey, I just want to say this, man. Questionable calls, play calling. Listen, the guys gave us a chance to win. We think about the 4th down, going for it on 4th down. We think about in the red zone. I don't even know where we was at, 5, 8 yard line, wherever. We run a reverse pass, not a reverse jet pass.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Who used to always do that type of shit though?
Listen, we're gonna bring Malzahn in this.
Hey, that's his play down there.
So listen, but he would, man. Malzahn would have ran
not a reverse pass, but he gonna run a speed sweep or
Malzahn would have ran zone read to the cows came home right then. But hey, I think this. Look, like you said, the young quarterback threw a few picks again. I just want to keep bringing up, man, how we coach guys in the offseason. It matters, bro. That's a young quarterback. He hadn't had a lot of reps, especially in these type of situations. Did we prepare him for these type of situations? Did we talk to him about throwing the ball away? Because I feel like as a quarterback, and I don't know who the quarterback coach is, but it seems like those things hadn't been driven home yet. It takes time. You know, we all made mistakes, especially early on in our, you know what I'm saying, our playing days. So again, man, I think at the end of the day, comes from the top, man. We have a chance to be a undefeated team with the right staff right now.
Hey man, to think even more about the situation, man. Like you said, we got a young quarterback, and his first away game is going to be at the #1 team in the country in a prime time game, 3:30. Man, it's really not setting up well for us.
I think Bama then moved back up to 1 though. I think Bama then moved back.
Bama 1.
Yep.
Oh, boom, man.
All right.
Well,
take us to that pick then.
Georgia.
I'm not picking Auburn nan game this damn season.
I go Georgia as well. Obviously, who cares about if we cover or not?
Man, you finally did.
Yeah, I mean,
he was done last week. I thought he was.
Man, we got
welcome.
We got it.
Go ahead, Smooth.
We got this other fool we got to listen out for. That's all I want to hear.
Hey, I think Fo record catching up to him, man. He getting more losses than wins on them motherfuckers overall on his picks.
Hey, Ken, hey, I'm right on Ken's ass. He keep on picking Auburn. I'm gonna pass him in a couple weeks.
Yeah, what's your take, bro?
He about to do it right here. Watch this, y'all. Watch this.
Listen back. Nah, man. Just looking back at last week, man, with Brandon Council moving the center and stuff, that helped our inside of our O-line and stuff like that. And there was a lot of positives out of last week. And I know it's a lot of negatives also, but the positives, man, that came from last week, man, Robbie threw for 337, man. If you can sit there and you can predict this game 2 weeks ahead, you would not predict Robbie Ashford throwing for 337 yards passing. No, you'll think that we've been trying to do that on the run game. So the fact that we came out, we did that, we had success with that. Now that Georgia probably looking at it also, knowing that they're gonna try to take away the run, but we're gonna threaten them upfield with our receivers. We got a couple of receivers one receiver that they can take the top off the defense. He's very shifty, got Jabari Johnson and everything. So my whole deal is right now saying we can build on what last week and our O-line continue to grow and just realize that we cannot go 2 drives without Tank Bigsby touching the ball, him not being in there on the start, not being in the game. I understand they got Hunter. Hunter's a decent back, but hey, you got Tank Bigsby on your team. Give him the damn ball.
Man, like Smooth said, I know we're giving him a hard time, but I think Carson is a proven kicker. He's also like one of the top 2 scorers, him and his brother, all time at Auburn, bro. Has that ever happened? Like, I don't even know if those stats are the same across other schools. Are the kickers leading scorers in school history?
Nah, they keep it in the family, man. I like that. But man, right
maybe
now
FSU.
Yeah, I remember him. Or Goggles at Georgia. Shit, that boy was there forever.
Blankenship.
Yes, God, that nigga felt like he had 7 years.
Let my boy get his point. What you think? What you think, Ken? And what?
No, man. Hey, the big test gonna be, man, for this weekend, man. If we get some pressure on Georgia quarterback, Stetson Bennett, make him look the average quarterback that I believe that he is, and that's coming from our D line and like that. I think our D line, they'll play a pretty good game, but we will feel the absence of Iku. I hope I'm saying his name right. The defensive end that just got hurt last week. But with all that said and done, man, I'm gonna have to go with Georgia for my pick. And the only reason why I say I'm going with Georgia for my pick because of the fact that it is in Georgia. And every time we play at Georgia, man, some reason why we always struggle. If it be a close game, we struggle to get ahead, and then we just end up playing catch up, or sometimes it just don't look that well for us. But I hate to go against my Tigers this week, but man, I really do think that if we come and we stick to a solid game plan, we would have a chance. But right now, if I had to put money on it, I'm going with Georgia, and I'll probably go with Georgia for probably about 10.
So are you saying to us that if Auburn Tigers had Georgia at home, you would go Auburn?
Being honest, guys, I really think we would have a better chance.
So we'll lose by 3.
No, that's not what he asked you. That's not what he asked you. He said, well, you go with Auburn, not Auburn will have a better chance. Would you go with Auburn if the game was at home?
Right now, with our roster the way it is,
no, man.
I'm not gonna lie. Eku is kind of like bothering me right now. The fact that that he's out right now with the I think he's towards Pet for the rest of the year. So if Eku was still there, I think we would have had a better chance because we can we'll pressure. We have three legit guys that can get to the quarterback against Georgia, and their O-line is struggling right now. I would go with Auburn at home.
Bro, you acting like that dude, D4.
Nah, I never said that, but I said we have three legit pass rushing. And Georgia's weakest point is their O-line.
There it is, man. Moving on. Tennessee versus LSU. LSU making a big comeback last week, I guess. SEC fight at Auburn. Tennessee rolling on. Tennessee's got a good program, but again, I don't think they're tough enough. I know I've been down on Tennessee all year. They continue to prove me wrong. Again, I'm not a fan of the Tennessee Vols DB coach. If it's still the same guy, Martinez guy. I think, again, at the end of the day, leadership matters, and it's going to show up. Like Van Gorder would say, it won't get you till it gets you. So, again, my pick for this matchup, I'm going LSU Tigers to upset the Tennessee Vols this week.
Is it LSU or Tennessee?
I think the game is LSU Death Valley. Yep.
In Death Valley. Damn, what time they play?
I'm not sure. Probably 2:30 CBS game.
No, we got
Auburn the 2:30 game, so it got to be a night game.
Well, 1 Central. No, it'd be
12.
Are they early?
Yeah, they early game.
I'm taking Tennessee, folks.
Yeah,
I got Tennessee. Yeah, man. I like I told you, I said a year or two, which it still may take them a year or two, but right now they're heading in the right direction, man. And like you said, they keep proving you wrong. I don't look at LSU as being a powerhouse team at the SEC. They are beatable. We've seen that just this past week, and we gave it away. But I think Tennessee get the job done and finish it, man. What's Tennessee still undefeated?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I got Tennessee, man. It won't be no upset this week.
Yep, and I don't even know how close it's gonna be after where LSU showed last week. So yeah, I think it's questions at LSU quarterback too, as far as his health. I don't know how healthy he's gonna be this week, and the backup looked like god awful. so yeah, Tennessee in this one for sure.
That was a determinant for me, man. A quarterback and his health. Like you guys know, man, it's always hard to go down there and win in Death Valley. Shit, ain't none of us did it. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it is set up for Tennessee to lose this game, and I think a lot of the outcome will be determined on LSU's quarterback situation.
So who you got?
If their quarterback play, I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go LSU. If he don't play Tennessee.
Yeah, okay, it's gonna be another time.
Okay. Kenny, what you thinking?
Hey man, I'm with Smooth on that. I think it's set up for upset week this week. Just looking at LSU, man. LSU got some athletes, man, and I feel like Tennessee, they set up for a game that they're gonna come out there and they're not gonna put their best effort forward. And everyone knows it's really hard to play in Death Valley. So I'm going with LSU. I'm going with the quarterback, if he plays, I'm going by 10 because the fact that kid can throw the ball and he's not going to make no bad decisions. He'll rather throw the ball out of bounds before he do a turnover in any kind of way. So that's my type of guy. Want to protect the ball and play good quarterback play. He can also put the ball on the ground and run it. So I'm going with LSU on that end.
It is, man. All right. Arkansas headed to Starkville. Last pick of the day. Arkansas, they dropped one to Bama last week. Mississippi State. I think they had a big win last week. Did they play A&M last week? On my week behind.
A&M play Mississippi State. Yeah.
Okay. So again, Arkansas headed to number 23, Mississippi State, Cowbells. I'll kick it off. I think Arkansas comes in and shuts down this passing game. The passing system for State, obviously under Mike Leach, has been, I think they've been breaking records. But I think Arkansas comes in with the plan, plays tougher football, and beats Mississippi State. I'll take them by 3.
I'm gonna rock with that too, man. I think Arkansas come in and get a big win, regrouping, man. Figuring out, put some stuff back together. I think they gonna take a few positives from the Bama game, man. You know, being down and fight back hard. I think the word for them just gonna be finished, man. We got the talent to do it, and I think that they're not playing Bama, they're playing Mississippi State. So I think it'll be a great opportunity for them to get back on their feet, get that bad taste out of their mouth.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Mississippi State, man. I think Arkansas showed a little bit of their hand from a defensive perspective, and I think Mike Leach licking his chops on that. And while I say that, I think Bama will start hitting the boys with some quick game, some slants. And if that pass rush can't get there and them boys run man like they did, I think they got the opportunity to eat them boys up. Because I seen a lot of yards after the catch. So depending on what athletes Mississippi State got down there, I ain't see nobody even on the screen on half of them, slants them boys caught and took to the crib. So I'm gonna go with Mike Leach being able to draw some up to take that D-line out the game and put it in the hands of his quarterback and receivers this game.
Yeah, I'm with Lo. I'm going Mississippi State, man. I don't agree when Lo said Kentucky was about to fall off, but I do think Arkansas about to fall off. That after that loss, I don't feel like they're gonna put it back together to regroup and to get this dub this weekend. So I like Mississippi State, man. I like the passing game. I like what Mike Leach got going on. I think he take over. He get the dub against Arkansas. I think Arkansas is really a front runner team, and I think it'll show this week.
Ooh.
I'm more with Low and CD on that, man. What Arkansas showed me last week, man. I know they were going against Bama, but the way that D line played, man, the way Bryce Young was just sitting back there patting the ball, man, not getting no pressure, man. I just see Mississippi State, they're gonna air it out over the top of them, man. And Arkansas may start out close with them. And I know I'm a big firm believer, as in you'll learn a lot from a loss more than from a win. But this too soon right now, man. I'm going with Mississippi State. They're gonna air it out over them boys, man.
Bro,